Amid this India-Maldives showdown, we get you a big scoop here that President Muizzu, as it appeared, had been wanting now to visit India too. Very interesting that while he's on a state visit to China, and as said, China is a great ally, it is also a collaborator of a very significant importance to Maldives, and has remained silent, specifically with regard to the showdown with India over this online showdown that has happened. But now we have the details coming in that Maldives had proposed dates before the 17th November oath-taking ceremony of President Muizzu to visit India in December. Now, according to our sources, Maldivian government is waiting still for the side to confirm on a date. But will this visit happen now, considering that President Muizzu has been so actively showing his tilt towards China? So that's the big news coming in. You're looking at visuals of President Muizzu, who is currently with the First Lady on a state visit to China. And this happened on the day when there had been three ministers, a member of parliament, other leaders who had been using some very inappropriate remarks against Prime Minister Modi, and also about India, saying, are they delusional to think they can match hospitality of Maldives? Even though three of them suspended, but the question remains, were they just them, their personal opinion, or was it coming from the top leadership? Geeta Mohan joining me on the latest. She's in Maldives, where she's reporting from right now. Geeta, this is very interesting that there were dates that had been proposed by Maldives to visit India. But is it getting highlighted more now because they realize their tilt with China is also getting questioned? What are the details you have?
Well, the fact that the Maldives does attach importance, remember, the Muizzu administration came to power with the help of and in collaboration with Yamin. And a week after he took office, they parted ways. So that is a very important indication of how Muizzu government wanted to formulate its own foreign and domestic policy, moving away from Yamin administration, and is the reason why, or Yamin himself, and who is actually anti-India, and is the reason why the dates were proposed by the Maldives or the Maldivian administration to India. They are still waiting for confirmation on a date, a response from the Indian side. That does not take away from the fact that India was not the chosen first destination of President Muizzu. He is trying to balance his own ties with the various countries and formulate his own policies. He visited Turkey, he went for the COP28, and now is in China. So while the two sides are still deciding on dates for the visit, the fact is that, Pooja, this has to be read very carefully with the fact that Yamin and Muizzu have parted ways. It is not absolutely anti-India, but yes, there are too many Yamin loyalists, too many of those who are part of the India Out campaign who are still a part of the administration, and some of them you've seen. And
also, Geeta, don't you think that India was also fair at a point when his election campaign of Muizzu was India Out? You know, who has it as a part of election campaign, India Out, vocal and visible, and then says, well, I'd like to visit India too. India, of course, has to be cautious at this point, looking at the tilt of Muizzu.
Well, absolutely. They were trying to tap in. This was political, in many ways, a political gimmick. They had tried to portray the Indian Armed Forces personnel over here as military footprint of India within the Maldives, which was not the case. And the India Out was specifically primarily to do with that one aspect of India-Maldives relationship, trying to corner the former administration of Soli government. And they did manage to do that. After that, ever since that, we have seen Muizzu continuing his campaign on Indian troops in the Maldives, but has been very, very careful and has treaded very carefully on all other fronts. The two leaders did meet on the sidelines of COP28 and put out very carefully worded statements, both from New Delhi and from Male. So they are very careful for India, why should India cede space to China over here in the Maldives?
And
why
because,
should
yes.
India not look at the Maldives as an important strategic partner and stop doing that?
And I remember, Geeta, how smooth the relationship was when there was President Ibrahim Soleh, and how it has changed now with President Muizzu, whose election campaign had India out. Then his silence, even though 3 ministers have been suspended, but his own silence as the top leadership of the government to assure India, reassure India, that also is very conspicuous.